that we're doing in Maku'u is just to really touch one ohana or one person at a time. And we've, as long as we're impacting one person, that makes all the difference. And I think that's what really built us to contributing to the bigger version of the Puna system, because we're just educating. We have all the schools involved, just educating the keiki, and we're really well-rounded with ohana. So the programs that we create in Maku'u is to help self-sustain from keiki to kupuna, and having everyone involved, because you really need a village to ho'omau, and to help you with your life's work.
What's more important is trying to inspire individuals within Puna to understand the agency that each of us has. And if each of us incrementally tries to grow a little bit more food and to save seeds, share seeds, if you create an abundance, to share that abundance with your neighbors, to really look at all the opportunities there around us and try to understand that for most of human history, people have worked collectively in many different structures to support communities, and it's only very recently that we seem to have forgotten that.
I think it's also sharing those networks, sharing information, like you said. If you know someone who knows somebody who could benefit from knowing each other, those are the type of relationships, those handshake relationships that we need to invest in and grow more in. I like to think that I am a contributor to that. So I think that outside of just promoting locally grown and locally produced, I think we also need to promote local relationships and being more conducive, more neighborly, sharing as much as we can.
Perfect. A lot of people are thinking the same thing. They're food insecure right now. And if you've been to the grocery store lately, the food prices are frightening. I can't even believe every time I go there, and everyone's thinking the same thing, but people just need to know how to get started. And I think that's why you have such a good turnout today, because we're all thinking the same thing. Also, too, we have the perfect climate here. We have the perfect climate, and we have fresh water in abundance. We have some things in Puna that no one has in the whole world. And I think we just need to utilize our resources a little better.
I believe it's about a mutual respect with land. That if I take care of land, land won't take care of me. We gotta do this. We cannot just say it. We must live this. We cannot just tell somebody else to go do them. Get up off your calling and go do them. That's the kind of attitude and concept that we gotta have. We cannot be counting on anybody to bring vegetables and produce to in our own place. We gotta go grow them. Oh, we must do this too. Must have one connection too. Gotta have the Aina connection. Gotta have the cultural connection. And that thing not gonna come just because we entitled to it. There's gonna be some work that gotta be done, and there's gonna be some roadblocks, and there's gonna be some failures. We get some hiccups along the way. But if we see something that's working, then let's try to empower it and not shove it down.
I think the unfortunate thing is that there was some time in our generation growing up, there was a shame put on eating local style foods, whether or not it's sweet potato leaves from the backyard, or ulu, or eating taro. There was this shame associated with it, as if could afford real food. And I think that we need to move out of that. And the only way is, again, engaging the keiki, right? They need to grow the food, cook the food, in order to want to eat the food. Because otherwise they're gonna want to eat what they see on TV and what they see in the fast food restaurants. And until we start putting it in things like their cafeteria food, growing it more at home, taking the potato maybe out of your beef stew and putting ulu in instead, until we start doing more of those type of practices, we're not going to see a big change in the way the food systems and the way that we're eating, because we're not incorporating the children into that mindset change. They need to see that it is a more value add for them to eat locally, to eat the food that they grew out of their backyard, and to see that as be wealthy. And until we can change that mindset, I think we're in an upward climb, you know, and it's hard for just one family to do it. We need a collective.
I think we can all understand that we're all living in a society and we're living under a story, and that story is not working for most of us. But if you can understand that it's just a story, we have the capacity to write a new story and to introduce a new story, not only for ourselves, but for the rest of the world. And we have a brand here in Hawaii that's invaluable. And everybody in the rest of the world, when they go to bed and they are questioning their own lives, there's a lot of people out there who, even though they've never been here or don't know what it's like, dream of being in Hawaii. So I think that really puts a huge responsibility on us. I think we're in a unique position to introduce a story now, a new story for humanity to evolve from consuming resources to stewardship and to really rebuilding the planet.
I would love if there would be a legal definition to the word farmer's market to compel the people who are selling the produce at the farmer's market, that it has to meet the criterion that it is grown locally by a local farmer. And if not, that it is particularly labeled to ensure that the people know what they're buying, not assuming that it's local. So that would be my call to action.
My call to action would be take action. It empowers people and it feels like you have some control over your future. Fear of the unknown is crippling and debilitating. Just start. Start with beginner crops, beans, lettuce, radishes. Start an herb garden. If there's an unhealthy fruit tree at your house or your neighbor's house, spray with soapy water. Maybe it just needs some love.
Nehuli kalima iluna pololi kaopu. When your hands are facing up, empty your stomach. You lazy, you're not doing the work. Nehuli kalima ilalo piha kaopu. When your hands facing down in the honua, in the earth, that means you're doing the work, and now you have a full stomach. So thank you for allowing me to be here today.